and future AI overlords. I'm here to talk to you about AI subscriptions. So why buy an AI subscription? It's definitely different for different people, different use cases. I'm still coming across a lot of people that are barely even using any of these AI chatbots. So, getting them to use an AI chatbot seems to be one thing. Getting people to pay to use an AI chatbot is an even bigger deal. The value prop has to be significant because you're putting money into this monthly subscription, and these subscriptions are more costly than your average streaming service. So anyway, this is my first thoughts on this, and to let you know, some of these subscriptions are very new and not even all the features have been rolled out yet. So this is early. As my feeling towards individual chatbots has evolved over the past 14 months, my feelings on subscriptions will definitely evolve too as I begin to use them and experiment and play. But I just wanted to give you some initial thoughts, and here we go. So just to kind of refresh, the AI chatbots that I kind of focus on are the big three. Google Gemini, Microsoft Copilot, and OpenAI ChatGPT. Those are the big three. Yes, there's others out there, absolutely. And I have looked at, Anthropic for one and played around with a few others, but these are, to me, the trinity out there that really are driving a lot of change. Of course, they're large companies, but OpenAI, I mean, the OG, and has just really disrupted the world with artificial intelligence. And it's been amazing to see companies like Microsoft partner with OpenAI and Google scramble to get their act together, realizing the impact on search. But change, there's constant change in this world. And we're talking about change driven by AI, which is a whole different level of speed and change. And I want people to strap in because it's only going to get faster. You're going to get smarter, speedier, artificial intelligence, systems and tools. It's going to be interesting to see how we evolve and work differently with these amazing AI chatbot tools. So a lot of names have changed, and I just wanted to kind of, say, hey, what's the original name of these chatbots? So Google Gemini used to be called Google Bard, and it was so funny because last week I was wondering, man, Bard feels like, it's cool, it's got the whole Shakespeare thing, and I really dig that, but it feels also kind of limited. And literally later that day was when I heard about the rebranding to Gemini. And Gemini, of course, is the name of the large language models that they launched at the end of last year, which are cool. So now Microsoft Copilot used to be limited to sort of the enterprise experience, but Microsoft Bing Chat was the web version, and now Microsoft is basically renaming all the AI tools related to the chat experience as a Copilot. So it's really cool, that they're kind of uniting around that brand and stuff like that. So, but they did that recently as well. Now, OpenAI ChatGPT is still ChatGPT, which is cool. So the OG has not changed their name. I'm just waiting for that shoe to drop when they do change theirs. But the names have changed, but the players continue to get smarter and smarter. So we're here to talk about subscriptions. So just really quickly, the Google Gemini Advanced subscription is $19.99 a month. The cool thing about it is you get a 2-month free trial. So in the Google Gemini app, there's a link to get I believe it's called a Google One AI Premium you have to purchase, and then that will give you access to Google Gemini Advanced. I just got access and have been playing with it recently, and so far I like it, and I'm enjoying it, but we'll dive more into that. So Microsoft Copilot has Microsoft Copilot Pro, and I also purchased this very recently, and it is $20 a month. No free trial. I was kind of bummed about that because actually when I was using Copilot to research about the Copilot Pro, it mentioned trials, but it also didn't seem to be very smart about Copilot Pro and kept referencing GitHub Pro. So anyway, and then OpenAI, ChatGPT. This service has been around for a while. They're ChatGPT Plus, and it's $20 a month, and it's kind of interesting, you know, like when I kind of looked into you know, the Plus subscription, you know, OpenAI is a really interesting company. You know, I mean, you know, they're the ones that just, you know, basically change the world. But the subscription apparently helps support the availability of free access of GPT for as many users as possible. And I was like, wow, that is really cool. I mean, that my money is helping others get access to these amazing tools. So, but anyway, they're all basically 20 bucks a month, but you get a free trial with Google Gemini. I recommend you check it out, and let's look into a little bit more. So Copilot, you know, launched February 7th, 2023. It's powered by OpenAI's GPT-4, and it's integrated with Microsoft Bing, and it's integrated in a lot of the Office apps and things like that. When you're in, so they're integrating it lots of places inside the Edge browser, inside of Windows. You know, it's really, I mean, that product integration is one of its like incredible strengths, that it can bring that intelligence into the apps, which is cool. The weaknesses historically have been the prompt limitations. And that's been something that I was kind of surprised about, that it doesn't look like there's a prompt limit anymore. So that is potentially kind of cool. So, but its weakness also is it relies heavily on OpenAI, GPT-4, and DALL-E 3. And, you know, we saw the drama, you know, go on at OpenAI with Sam Altman. I mean, even to this day, people ask questions about that. It was pretty disruptive, you know, and I've seen those interviews with Satya Nadella. You know, I mean, he wants to be a partner, you know, doesn't want to own that company, but relies on it heavily. So it's an interesting dynamic. But the drama was probably some of the biggest drama since like Facebook. But anyway, but Copilot Pro is their subscription service, and basically, and I did not realize this, that when you use the Copilot free service, you get access to GPT-4 during non-peak times. I had no idea it was dropping me back to 3.5 during peak times. So that kind of blew me away. So when you get Copilot Pro, you get party access to GPT-4 and GPT-4 Turbo, including during peak times. So that's cool. But it was enlightening that, you know, but hey, you're getting something for free, you know, it's kind of a different ask. But it is one of those things where, you know, identifying what the advantages are can be very limiting. So the integration with Microsoft 365 apps. So the regular Copilot, you know, the integration is like supposedly minimal. I didn't really see 365 integration with Copilot until I upgraded to Copilot Pro, and then inside the apps, I had the prompts. I had the ability to click a button, you know, inside the Office apps for Copilot and launch it, and you know, and side by side. So it was one of those things of, you know, having a app enabled with an AI integrated into it is a different experience. It was surprising. I was really blown away by Copilot Pro and getting that experience with leveraging AI inside the apps. Now, you know, there were issues with accuracy of information and stuff like that. I did a video on it. It was my first, you know, experience with Copilot Pro. I'm still kind of figuring it out, still early in playing with it and stuff like that, trying to figure out how to handle it when it gives you bad information and stuff like that. So still trying to kind of figure that out a little bit. But, you know, I get pleasantly surprised by a lot of these amazing capabilities. So they're saying Copilot basic conversational responses. Now, you know, I have a little bit of history with Bing Chat / Copilot. It gets annoyed with me with the questions I ask it. It's, you know, cut me off in conversations. It's basically this kind of rude person that you work with. At least that's the way I've kind of envisioned it. But I do my best to not well, I'd like to say I do my best to not anthropomorphize these tools, but I do. I mean, like pets and chatbots, I just love giving them, heaping some personality onto them because they do really have very different, kind of user experiences. And it feels like they've got different personalities. And I've even seen those personalities shift over the past year. Some have lost a little bit of that kind of unique flair and personality. But if they're tuning them for accuracy and things like that, and have to kind of tone down some of the behavior, some of the response freedom in there, I can see that. But it's interesting because I really do like that conversational approach. And even though Microsoft has really put forth Copilot as driven to be very conversational, historically, I've not really felt that, but I'm open to a better relationship with Copilot. So anyway, and then it says in the Pro, it says advanced help with writing, coding, designing, researching, learning. So with Pro, in the chatbot itself, I'm not seeing the limitation of the 30 responses. Early on, when Bing Chat came out, there were some of those issues where it kind of would go off the rails and hallucinate. And there was that New York Times reporter that had an experience where it was telling him to leave his wife and it loved him. And it was one of those things where it's like, is this real or is this a movie? And it was real. Like it really happened to this person, and it kind of freaked him out. And reading about it, it sounded that way. So Microsoft limited the interactions you could have with Copilot, but it looks like those limitations, at least on the plus side, aren't there anymore. And that they've maybe tackled that issue of it going off the rails, because I didn't quite understand. Like, I never had that experience, with Google Bard / Gemini or OpenAI ChatGPT, and they're using GPT-4. Of course, Microsoft Magic as in addition to that. But anyway, so it's supposed to provide advanced help in Copilot Pro. I'd have to say, if I'm getting the better GPTs, and I'm getting priority access and stuff like that, maybe I'm not noticing it, or maybe it's just subtle. I've done some comparisons between like the standard and the pro versions of these, and the differences are subtle. Some tools are a little bit more powerful, and I think maybe also my negative outlook on Copilot, maybe I don't see the positives in its behavior that much, which, hey, that's my bias. But I am enjoying Copilot Pro. I'm enjoying using it inside the apps. Now, image creation. I'm a big fan. Like the one glowing feature I loved about Bing Chat was the Bing Image Creator. It's now called Designer. It used to be called Bing Image Creator. And you got the DALL-E 3 or DALL-E 2 access, but you had easier access through the tool, and it could create images very easily. And I really enjoyed the images it created compared to DALL-E 3, to be honest. So I really like that. But it looks like inside the new Copilot Pro, and I have done this when I created AI images, you can get a landscape format, which is so much better. The landscape format is very nice. The images do feel more sophisticated, more unique. They have more color, more vibrancy. So I've really enjoyed the image creation inside Bing Image Creator, and now in the update in Copilot Pro. When I saw the images pop out in landscape, I was like, yes, that is sweet. So you're going from a free version, which is still very capable, to $20 per user per month. So this is a lot. So you have to have a Microsoft 365 personal or family subscription. So you're already paying for a Microsoft 365 subscription, and then you're paying another $20 a month per user, because this isn't a multi-user thing, this is per user. So it'll be interesting to see how the subscriptions maybe get updated in Microsoft 365 in the future. But I just got access to it. I just started playing with it. I'm really enjoying the exploration. And I can't wait to use this capability more in more circumstances, even professional circumstances. So, so the OpenAI chatbot, the OG, the one that blew my mind, 14 months ago. I didn't get my count till December 12th of 2022. So I was literally like, nearly 2 weeks later before I got it. But I'm still amazed at its adoption, and people love it. It's still, even with its limitations on, inability to access current information, like when you're using the free version, stuff like that. But I loved its creativity. I loved its humor. I loved, the options it gave when I was looking at, different types of, concepts it was helping generate for me. So I'm just, still blown away by it. I use it every day because it's just something I really enjoy. But I also use Bard, Google Gemini every day now as well. So it's one of those things, like both of them I use a lot, and then Copilot I'm starting to use a little bit more. But anyway, but in the free version, you are limited to its training update data. So that was one of the things you just smacked me in the face, was you get the limit to, but once you actually purchased, well, anyway, let's jump over to the ChatGPT versus ChatGPT Plus. So anyway, so what's great is that you get access to GPT-4, which is fantastic, and I definitely felt a significant improvement going from 3.5 to 4. And as far as chat capabilities, I felt like they were both really good, but I did see, more detail, even better breakdown of information, which, is kind of amazing, or rewriting content in ways that looked so much better structured and stuff like that. So I was really surprised. Now availability, like when you're on the free ChatGPT, there were times when I was getting that, like, you're just waiting for a spot, and I just hit the refresh, and boom, I'd get in. And I never had to wait too long, but I know early on availability was kind of an issue. But I've not. I mean, but now I did purchase a GPT Plus subscription early on, and I've never really had to. Well, no, that's not true. I have had some wait, availability times even under the Plus, but very rare. But it's worked. The Plus subscription is pretty good. So response speed, I never noticed a significant increase in response times, but I mean, I'm sure like when you're getting down into the millisecond, there's some more details, but just from a basic user experience, it doesn't feel significantly different. Yes, there are different things you're doing, creating images and stuff like that. You're doing deeper analysis. Yes, that will take some time, and you can feel it in those. But in general experiences, it is not like a long wait time kind of thing. So I do love how all of the chatbots are really good, going from text conversations now to images to voice input to speaking to image creation inside the chatbot. Like Microsoft did a great thing when they brought Bing Image Creator using DALL-E into the chatbot, and then of course everyone else is now doing that too. So not having to go to a separate text to image tool is really nice. But anyway, the OpenAI ChatGPT, I really enjoy the voice conversation. I've done some videos on that. You've probably seen that, where you just launch ChatGPT, you hit the voice conversation button, and you just talk to it, and it is amazing. And I have had wonderful conversations, diving into so many different types of subjects, and it's been so fun. And I've spent like 45 minutes, to nearly an hour, but I'll hit those token limitations, and it's very jarring when you're having that experience with an AI, and you're having this really wonderful conversation. All of a sudden, you get the like, you've exceeded the token limit for this session. Basically, you've got to shut it down for a few hours, and then you can come back and try it again. But anyway, custom GPTs now. It is available in GPT Plus. It is cool, and I have played around. I created like a Disney World planning GPT, and it was really fun to get it to speak in the voice of Mickey Mouse, or not in the voice of, but the text in the voice of Mickey Mouse, and map out like an itinerary for a family. And it was really fun. And I've got some ideas on some custom GPTs to play with. But it too is a $20 a month cost for this. And I've had it for several months now. I've really enjoyed it. I maybe haven't been using it as much lately because I've been exploring Gemini, exploring Copilot. But I do have to say, when I'm in ChatGPT, I used to be scared to use the GPT-4. I didn't want to use them all up, but now I'm doing everything in GPT-4 and not selecting it out to 3.5. So it's been a really good experience to use these tools. Getting to Google Gemini, so formerly known as Google Bard, came out February 6, 2023. It launched early access March 21, 2023, and then generally available May 10th. Its strength was factual accuracy, and it was grounded in real-world knowledge because it had Google search. They launched this Google extensions option where you could opt into Google Flights, Google Hotels, Google Maps, Google Workspace, and YouTube to integrate the chat experience with those tools. But I wouldn't call it a weakness, but it does feel less playful, less conversational. It's like the super smart friend that you really like, but they're super smart and they may not quite, may not be as, I don't know, like imaginative and creative and stuff like that. At least in a, in a way that, feels more personable kind of thing. But I love its accuracy. I love it. And I love being able to just hit that Google button when I need to kind of go look at validation and stuff like that. So Gemini Advanced. Okay, so Gemini Advanced, just came out recently. They rebranded, of course, Google Bard to Google Gemini, and then Gemini Advanced is their subscription service. It uses an entirely different large language model called Gemini Ultra 1.0. And this is something that Google's been working on for a while to really, basically provide a different infrastructure for their chatbots and for their APIs and for their services and things that they're integrating into it, which is really exciting because they were building from the ground up as a multimodal tool. So it's interesting kind of seeing a little bit about the architecture, and learning a little bit about it. So I do like that. And I do like how the Gemini language models have, different sizes based on different contexts. So in Gemini Advanced, you're using Gemini Ultra, which is their most sophisticated, most intelligent language model. When it comes to integration, so you've got the extensions capability that you can use with Gemini. So you can go in and you can go into extensions, into the settings and extensions, and then turn on all those integrations, to Gmail and Docs, to YouTube, to flights, to hotels, all that kind of stuff. But they are working on, it's not available yet, but they are working on integrating Gemini Advanced into the apps itself. So kind of like Microsoft has Copilot inside of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, different tools. Google is doing very similar thing to their Google Workspace, Sheets and all the different apps and stuff like that. So that's going to be really interesting to see what that looks like when that comes out. And I'm hoping it comes out really soon. I really want to try it and experience it a little bit, during this trial. I'm hoping, I definitely want to do a side-by-side comparison between, Gemini Advanced, Microsoft Copilot Pro, and OpenAI ChatGPT Plus, and really compare and the actual different experiences and see, are they really worth it? But right now it's kind of new and I need to come up with, some good prompts and stuff like that. But I've got some historical prompts that I've used for a lot of the comparisons in the past. But to be honest, those prompts are weak. They're old. These tools are evolving so quickly. I need to come up with better, more sophisticated prompts, more contextual, kind of things that really kind of showcase, the limitations. Back in the day, these chatbots, you couldn't ask it the date and time, like some really basic questions. It is, it's beyond that stuff now. So So one of the cool things you do get also with Gemini Advanced is it's part of the Google One subscription. You get 2 terabytes of Google Drive storage, which is great. I was actually kind of maxing out my 100 gig, so it's nice to get that extra space. And it's 19.99 a month, and it's part of this Google One AI Premium plan. So I'll be interested to see within the next couple of months. Is it worth it? I I've been a subscriber to lots of different streaming services, and at one point, I mean, I think I had nearly, well, not all of them, but a lot of them. And it was one of those things that go, man, this is just crazy how much this is racking up. And now I'm doing the same thing with AI subscriptions, is I'm racking up the subscriptions, and stuff like that. But entertainment streaming and information capabilities are 2 different things. When I think about the future of AI and how I'm going to leverage it in all spheres of my life, an AI subscription service has a lot more value in so many more contexts than just binging, all of Bridgerton, which, by the way, I saw the Bridgerton Series 3 earlier today, and I was like, whoa, I can't wait to see it. Anyway, side note. But I feel like Gemini Advanced is very new. I'm very excited to explore it. I am exploring it. I'm enjoying it. It also has limitations and accuracy issues. Even in doing research for this presentation, I had to rely on more of Microsoft Copilot for the accuracy of data and information. So I use all 3 of the services, and I do data searches in each of them, and I do some comparisons. And normally Google is way on point. So I was really bummed that Google was not the information leader. So when I rank the chatbots that I like, I typically say Google Gemini is number 1, and then I say OpenAI ChatGPT is number 2, and then Microsoft Copilot is number 3. I literally feel like Copilot has moved up to 2. Like it's a tie for second place. And if it continues to be more accurate and the app integration is better, and I feel like the value proposition in the working world of being an intelligent user of Copilot is a huge advantage, to be honest. It's good to know how to use these chatbots in general, but being good at Copilot will play not in just to your personal life, but into your work life as well. So anyway, I am still wondering, am I going to keep paying $20 per month for all of these subscriptions? Time will tell. These tools are constantly evolving, and that's the hard part. Is they evolve so much, so fast, so quickly with new capabilities and new integrations. I remember considering getting rid of ChatGPT Plus. But voice conversations came out, and it was like, whoa, this is really cool. So it kind of kept me from giving it up, because I really enjoyed that experience. So each of these AI tools needs to have they need to be somewhat a tool you can trust. They need to be a tool that is a good user experience, and they need to give you some kind of like really unique killer feature function experience that just is far beyond the others. And right now, they're all good in their own ways. It's too early to tell. And I'm sorry that that's the answer today. But for you, maybe some of this information gives you enough to say, oh, I'm going to try this one. Oh, I'm going to try that one, kind of a thing. Once again, my big recommendation to people is start using chatbots. Know the risks, know the limitations, but switch from a plain old search into a chatbot experience. I promise you, it will be better. Maybe not immediately, but a light bulb will go off for you where this AI experience becomes something significantly meaningful. And I've been there for several people where the light bulb turns on, and it's like magic to see people like open up to chatbots and AI. So anyway, thank you for joining me today. I'm going to be playing with these tools. I'm going to be exploring and learning more. I'm looking forward to hearing from you if you have any feedback or ideas. Thank you for joining me, and see you in the next video.